Subaru had its beginnings in 1953. Back then, it was known as Fuji Heavy Industries. During the 50s and 60s, they produced little city cars for the tight streets of Japan. In 1965, the Subaru 1000 was released, which was the first model to use the famous Boxer engine. In 1972, the Subaru Leon station wagon was introduced, and it became the first mass-produced four-wheel drive vehicle on sale. 1988 saw the incarnation of Subaru Tecnica International, or STI as it's more commonly known. Almost a decade later, Colin McRae won the World Rally Championship with the Subaru Impreza WRC. More recently, the Subaru BRZ was unveiled in 2012, which is a collaboration between Subaru and Toyota. And in 2022, the Soltera EV came to market, their first all-electric vehicle.
An impressive history. Today, Subaru produces vehicles for adventurous families, the young adult who has a need for speed, and environmentally conscious buyers who no longer want to pay at the gas pumps.
Subaru made their name on the back of the famous Boxer engine and symmetrical all-wheel drive. The combination of the two exists in nearly all models that Subaru sells today. Perhaps the most famous car that utilized this pairing in recent memory is the Impreza WRX STI.
Unfortunately, the Impreza WRX STI has been discontinued, but its legacy will forever live on. Plus, you can still get behind the steering wheel of a WRX, only without the STI part, or the Impreza part. Now it's just called WRX. The turbocharged 2.4-liter Boxer 4-cylinder engine doesn't produce quite the 300 plus horsepower of the old STI, but it still produces a very healthy 271 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. That allows this WRX to accelerate from a stop to 100 kilometers an hour in, well, let's find out.
The engine's power is not wasted with wheel spin thanks to the standard symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Whether it's tarmac, gravel, mud, snow, or ice, the Subaru WRX will never have issues with traction.
The Subaru WRX retains the rally DNA that its predecessors honed on the World Rally Championship. But what if you want to see the world sideways? No, not that kind of sideways. This kind of sideways. Unlike the grippy WRX, this Subaru BRZ is a totally different animal. It still uses a 2.4-liter Boxer engine, but it's naturally aspirated and the power only goes to the back wheels. That means you can do this.
Though the Boxer engine in the BRZ is not turbocharged, it does produce more power and torque than the previous generation. Coupled with the lightweight chassis, standard limited slip differential, and low center of gravity, the Subaru BRZ provides a lot of miles per gallon.
Best of all, this little sports car starts at just under $32,000. That is very good bang for your buck. However, Subaru doesn't cater to just driving enthusiasts. They also produce 4 crossover SUVs that families can use for getting the groceries, taking the kids to school, or having fun out here in the wilderness. The smallest one that they produce is the CrossTrek. This car received a complete makeover for the 2024 model year, including a new design, new infotainment system, and it's available in the rough and tough wilderness trim.
At the heart of the CrossTrek is a 2-liter or a 2.5-liter Boxer engine, both of which are now offered exclusively with the Lineartronic CVT automatic. The manual transmission is no longer available. All versions of the CrossTrek come equipped with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system and X mode, which makes it easier to tackle rough terrain. In this wilderness trim, X mode is further enhanced with a snow dirt setting and a deep snow and mud setting.
Further off-road enhancements for the wilderness trim include more ground clearance, 17-inch alloy wheels with all-terrain tires, and more underbody protection for those really rough trails.
The interior of the Subaru CrossTrek sees some changes over the previous generation, with the biggest being the updated infotainment system. Standard is a dual 8-inch screen layout, while higher trim levels, including this wilderness, utilize an 11.6-inch touchscreen. Other changes for the CrossTrek include redesigned seats to provide more comfort. There's also more sound insulating material throughout the cabin to lower outside noises and keep you feeling more isolated from the exterior environment.
So that's Subaru's smallest crossover SUV. At the other end of the spectrum is their biggest, the Ascent. This competes in the same category as the Toyota Highlander and Volkswagen Atlas. But unlike those three-row SUVs, Subaru's off-road DNA is evident the moment you start driving the Ascent over the rough stuff. For a start, the Subaru Ascent has almost an inch more ground clearance than the Highlander and the Atlas. And also, just like every other Subaru, it comes equipped with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, apart from the BRZ, of course.
Helping move the Subaru Ascent is a 2.4-liter turbocharged boxer engine. It produces 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque, with the power going through Subaru's Lineartronic CVT automatic. With this engine and transmission combination, the Ascent is rated to tow up to 5,000 pounds. But when you're not fording a river or plowing through deep snow, the Subaru Ascent is a comfortable family vehicle. The rigid chassis and double wishbone rear suspension contribute to a smooth ride on city streets.
On the inside, up to 8 people can enjoy the smooth ride of this SUV. Though 3 adults in the third row is pushing it, 3 kids shouldn't be any big of an issue. Here in the second row, you can get it with bench seats or captain's chairs, and the Ascent has pretty much the same amount of space here as the Toyota Highlander. Up here in the front, the Subaru Ascent comes equipped with a standard 11.6-inch touchscreen. It displays Subaru's latest infotainment system, which has very big icons, so you don't need to squint to see them. Additionally, this system does support wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto.
Other features that you'll find in the Subaru Ascent include standard automatic 3-zone climate control, heated front seats with power adjustable driver's seat, available ventilated front seats with heated second row seats, available panoramic sunroof, and a 14-speaker Harman Kardon audio system, to name a few of the many features that the Ascent can be equipped with.
What if you're fed up with paying over $2 a liter at the gas pumps? Well, Subaru now has a fully electric vehicle. Say hello to a Soltera.
This EV is a collaboration between Subaru and Toyota. It's not the first time that the two companies collaborated on a car, with the other one being the BRZ and GT86. But getting back to the Soltera, unlike the Toyota BZ4X, this electric vehicle is only available in the dual-motor all-wheel drive configuration. Combined, the two motors deliver 215 horsepower and 249 pound-feet of torque.
One of the benefits to having an electric vehicle, in addition to not having to pay for gas, is the smoothness of the powertrain. There are absolutely no vibrations or noises coming from the electric motors. It's so quiet. It's like being in a church. Of course, in a church, you can't do this.
Electric motors deliver all of their torque the moment you put your foot on the accelerator pedal. The Soltera can launch from a stop to 100 kilometers an hour in just under 6 seconds. That's about as quick as the WRX, but the Soltera has less horsepower and carries more weight. However, when you're not trying to test your luck with the 5.0, the Subaru Soltera is estimated to provide up to 360 kilometers of driving range.
A 10% to 80% charge from a level 3 DC fast charger like the one behind me can take up to 1 hour. From a level 2 charger, 10% to 100% can take upwards of 11 hours to recharge the Subaru Soltera.
While you are waiting for the car to recharge, you can also take the time to play around with the different features inside the Soltera. The infotainment system is displayed on an 8-inch touchscreen, but if you option your Soltera with the technology or luxury package, then the touchscreen gets upgraded to 12.3 inches in size. It's not the same infotainment system that other Subaru models use, but the Toyota-derived system is fairly intuitive to use and navigate around. Just like the Subaru infotainment system, this one also connects to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly. Other gadgets in the Soltera include available heated seats in all 4 corners, ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel, wireless phone charging pad, dual-zone automatic climate control, panoramic moonroof, and a 7-inch driver instrumentation display, which may seem like it is in an odd position right next to the bottom of the windshield. But the positioning means that the important information is easily within your sight while driving.
The Subaru Soltera is one of the most expensive vehicles that you can buy from the brand. It starts at just over $56,000. Thankfully, it is eligible for government rebates of up to $9,000. There you have it. That is a look at the diversity of Subaru's vehicles. They have something for everyone, including the environmentally conscious buyer, the speed fanatic, and the adventurous family. If you'd like to know more about any of the vehicles that we mentioned in this video, including the two that we didn't, the Outback and the Forester, please don't hesitate to contact our knowledgeable product specialists at OpenRoad Subaru Boundary. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and see you next time.